I would say be confident. Trusteeship can sound like a lot to take on and can sound like complicated, onerous, difficult stuff. But most people with a degree of common sense and a bit of willingness to learn from those around them, because there'll be lots of support available, most people can easily make a success of being a charity trustee. But do need to take it reasonably seriously and don't abandon all your common sense. We hear lots of stories about people who start behaving a bit differently when they get round a charity trustee table, but a lot of common sense, good bit of confidence and a willingness to learn and share, that'll take you a long way forwards.
I think for me, in my experience as being a trustee and as a chief officer in the charity sector over the years, is that to give yourself sufficient time to understand the mission and the cause of the charity and understand the culture and the strategic direction of the charity and afford yourself that time and not to feel pressurised to be able to take on a big contributing role in the charity, that you feel you have to be making contributions at every topic, at every item. There'll be some items on an agenda for the business meetings of the charity where you feel able to contribute something but not to others. I've heard over the years, in my own experience, I've just gone on to a new trustee role myself, and I know for a fact that for the first 2 or 3 meetings I'll perhaps contribute less but take in a lot. So I'll want to listen and then articulate contributions to whatever the item and the business is, but then get more involved once you get more confidence. So I think it's about giving yourself time and building up your confidence and your knowledge of the organisation before you can then make a bigger contribution to the wider work of the charity.
Well, I suppose you could say lots of complicated things, but I'd say a couple of basics. First of all, you've probably come to be a trustee with some kind of passion, something that you want to do, and just kind of remember that all the time when you're maybe having a few troubles or you don't actually want to get up early or stay out late at night before you go home to go to a trustee meeting. Keep that passion. The second thing is, don't panic. I think sometimes for a first-time trustee it seems like a big thing you're taking on. And yes, it is a responsibility, but actually you're not alone. It's a collective responsibility. You have your other trustees around you that are going to support you. Yes, you should do a bit of basic reading, get a bit of basic understanding, but actually you don't need to panic. You've got people around there to support you. And as long as you've got the passion, ask when you don't understand anything, you'll get there and it'll be a brilliant experience.
I think the advice that I would give to a first-time trustee is to feel really confident about asking questions. If you don't understand something, if you want to know more about something, if you want to probe a little bit deeper into what the organisation is doing or the environment it's in, feel free to ask questions. Don't feel that you have to sit quiet until you know everything and can contribute.
The advice I give to a first-time trustee is look for sources of support in terms of face-to-face, word of mouth, other people that you know who have been a trustee who can help you just with informal conversations. There's so much information online, but there's nothing like having that face-to-face conversation with someone who's been there before. I've certainly personally found that a great source of support when I took on my first board role.
The first thing I'd say is get a really good induction and make sure that you take control over getting a really good induction. Ask for it, and if there's anything there that you're not sure of, just keep asking those questions. And the second thing is linked to that. When you're part of the meeting and you're being asked to make a decision around something, don't think that there are any daft questions. You need to make sure that you fully understand the question that you're being asked and the answer that you're given and the implications for that.
I think the advice I'd give to a first-time trustee is really to think about the role of trustee in 3 broad areas. One as trustee as governance or compliance, looking at the technical stuff that you'll learn about in being a trustee. But secondly, the role of trustee as a leader and representing the organisation externally and internally and leading that organisation. And the third area of thinking about it as a trustee, as a volunteer. So the technical competencies that you have, that you bring to the table, that you can support the organisation with. And I think by thinking about it in those 3 ways, you can make a meaningful contribution.
The advice I would give to a first-time trustee is find out as much as you can about the organisation you're thinking about getting involved with, so that you've got a fair idea. When I became a trustee, I replied to an open advertisement that said they wanted 2 to 3 days a year. The reality is 6 years on, I'm loving being involved in the organisation, but it's been far more time commitment than that. Would I have got involved if I'd known it had been so much? I'm not sure, but I have loved every minute.